Welcome back once again to the UnChristian podcast. Thank you so much. Wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing, thank you for joining us today. I don't know what time of the day it is with you. Here in what they call sunny South Africa, it's still sunny, but it's getting quite cold. And we are now taking out the electric blankets and the heaters. But hey, listen, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, please subscribe. Please click on the subscribe button. Many of you are not subscribing, although you're enjoying the content. Grow the community, and please do share this to other people that you think are going to enjoy this. You help us to grow. The more subscriptions you get, the more we are able to bring you fabulous guests like we have today and fabulous conversations that are going to enrich you. I've got a very, very awesome topic of discussion today with two amazing professionals in the creative space. As a creative myself in church media, I'm going to have fun today. I'm going to say very little because these men are going to just teach us so much about church media tools that are available to be used in ministry and in church setups and all of that, because we got to use these things to advance the kingdom. And they've got an amazing event that's coming up. It's a conference for church creatives. I won't even say media professionals or musicians. It's creatives of all kinds, and they're going to tell us more about that. So with me today, I have got Mr. Tumelo Socks in the house. Sir, how you doing?
I'm good in yourself.
Awesome, man. And I've got Mr. Thabo States in the house. I imagine these are not the names their moms gave them. But we will keep it here.
You know what's funny? I think when I was in grade 7, so I wanted to be a prefect so bad. And so they gave people our names to vote for prefects. And so when we got out there, everybody was like, hey man, we couldn't find your name. I was like, my name was there. No, like there's no socks.
Yes.
And that's when I realized the nickname can be a disadvantage.
It can. Thank you guys for making time
you're welcome.
to come here. Exciting things coming up. You guys are already doing a lot of exciting projects and stuff. And now, I was going through your profile with all the work that you've done, and I was presently taken aback by just how you've been involved in the great work that you've done. You've worked with some of the big names in the industry, and man, kudos to you guys for building this thing and for grinding. When did the love of media start? When did all this begin? Growing up as kids, is this always what you wanted to do? Let's start with you, sir.
We're cousins.
Awesome. So your family.
Yeah.
All right.
His father and my mother are siblings.
That's another dynamic we gotta talk about. Working with family.
Sure.
There are a couple of difficult people to work with.
Yeah.
Family, church people that we are in church with. And husband and wife.
Sure.
But anyway, yes, sir, tell us.
So I think we used to play soccer.
Yeah.
And my knee got injured. I got was jumping for the ball and someone hit me.
Oh man.
Then I lost consciousness. Then I fell on my knees.
Yeah.
So then I started having knee issues.
Yeah.
So then I was like, damn, I can't use this medium anymore. So then dancing was the next big thing. We're from Polokwane.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, we started dancing.
Yeah.
So that's the first medium.
Yeah.
That I think we used. We used to have mixtapes.
Awesome.
And we danced at church and also in the secular world. At church, our name was JF.
JF.
Yeah, in church, outside it's Java Flex.
Okay.
And then in church, it's Jesofela, Jesus Freaks.
Jesus Formation.
We had a couple of names. So I think that's where it started, because we were using music, we were using clothing, we were using a lot of elements to try put together performances.
Great.
Whenever we performed. So I think that's the first time we.
Awesome. You've hence been running an amazing media house. EyeListen, it's a creative house. There's cinematography in there and all kinds of things. Tell us about that work. How did it start, and what services have you been rendering?
Yeah, so when it started, I think we went to film school. So I first went to varsity and wanted to pursue diagnostic radiography, which is to take X-rays.
What an extreme. From the medical to the creatives.
But also the consistency that's wild is from taking internal pictures to external pictures.
I see what you did there. Yeah.
So then States comes through to Joburg after he completes his matric. And he says, look, I've been watching this film called Inception. I want to be a filmmaker. Wow. Okay, cool. No, let me accompany you to school.
Yeah.
So he goes there to register, and I'm there. I'm like, no ways.
Yeah.
No, I have to be.
Which school did you study at? Media
after.
Stuff. After.
Yeah, after Johannesburg.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Even Tiny did after, right?
Oh yeah.
Well,
that's
Tiny's ghost lady right now there behind the cameras. She's their project manager.
She's the plug. She's the real plug. So yeah, then we were at AVDA, and I remember the first lecture where the owner of the school asked how many of you want to be employed after here, like which type of institutions you guys want to be employed at. And me and States, weirdly enough, we had not had the conversation. We didn't raise our hands to be employed, right? And I think one of the reasons was it was a costly exercise. And like the other thing that States didn't mention is that we're both pastors' kids. So
me too. 3P cases in here.
Just shows
how
stories
for days. Let's do another episode on that.
Also just shows how much the church has been cooking.
Yeah,
if we are all able to be creatives, because also in that season, I was just thinking about it not long ago that I think our parents played a critical role in us being creatives. Because at that time when we were dancing at church, like it was literally like you are taking outside, music, dance, and trying to bring it into the church.
Yeah.
And us trying to keep the young people excited and relatable. And so that was also a tricky time for them, because it's like your kids are bringing these weird things into the church.
Yeah.
But they protected us, man. They were like, no, like, let them be. And so that's how we literally ended up at AVDA initially.
I got you.
And so when we finished school, now the real test began, because filmmaking, you don't just leave school and you become this Tarantino or
it's not that quick.
No, it's not gonna happen that quick. So our plan was like, okay, let's go shoot weddings. And lo and behold, we shot like one launch of a live DVD. And then that opened more opportunities. We literally got into the gospel live recording space, probably by purpose, but definitely not part of our plan.
Sure. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then one recording led to the other. So how we used to find them, we just used to check on YouTube live recordings, and then you get posters. Now people post posters late. So,
yes.
So it wouldn't work now. But yeah, that's how we used to find them and make presentations. What we knew then as part of our great selling proposition was that we had the film experience, right? And so the film approach, we're like, okay, cool. How can we contribute towards building an industry standard as far as storytelling is concerned? And so that was really our angle. And I think the trajectory changed quite big when we landed our first client as Dr. Dumi, and everything then just followed through after that.
Which album of Dr. Dumi's was that?
We're with him from the Dome. That is Speak a Word.
Y'all did that.
Yeah, so
that was good work, guys.
Yeah, look, but also we felt like we were also deep in, right? With not much experience.
You had to swim in the deep end.
Yeah, and how we got to work with him, we had proposed a documentary. We did the post-production for...
Right. Let's get your mic in there, sorry.
But also, me and him, we had cameras on the day to shoot the docu, but we were also shooting the performance. And then when we had to edit, then we had to put our footage.
So it's like, yo guys, your shots are amazing. Can we have them into the final mix? Then I think we started working with him from then until all the other gathering of worshippers.
Sure.
So but the whole medium, how we tried to blend it together was to try bring the cinematic storytelling that we had learned at school and blend it into how can we, because at the time I think it was only Robin who was shooting with DSLR cameras. Like,
Okay,
it was the 5Ds that were then,
5Ds were legendary.
no, they are.
They still pack a punch
today. They proper. I think we call them Gushesh.
Exactly.
It's the BME 30 of cameras. Till today, they still slap. I just saw some fire pictures today, and the guy shot on the 5D Mark III.
Amazing.
Yeah, so at the time, I think Kaya's, was it Uprising?
Oh, the Uprising.
Yes, and Ntokozo was, which one was that? I think those were the only 2 live recordings that were shot on DSLR cameras at the time.
Yeah.
And so then we also then follow suit
Gotcha.
in terms of introducing, because most of the time they were using XD cameras, your broadcast cameras, and then I think it gave a different texture to the live recordings, and eventually then people also resonated with that look and that quality.
Yeah. So tell us technically. We talk about DSLR cameras. A DSLR camera, it looks like a photography camera, but it's got the function of video. For those who might know. Now the evolution, the next step up from that, where are we now? When someone has DSLR and they want to step it up, what's the next step technically?
So there's creating and then there's art. So art speaks to the medium,
right?
And creating is the most. It's what you need to have. The art part is how you interact with cameras, how you interact with, and they will always change. So it always depends on its first function, then aesthetic. So it's first what do you want to do? It's like similar to, just to give a random example, when a client comes to us and they're like, give me your package for live recordings. It's like, are you having it in a stadium? Are you like, you
gotta give more detail than that.
Yeah, so it's not braid, which we packaged it and everyone can just grab it. It's a matter of like, what is it that you want to achieve, and given that, we'll be able to. So the DSLR cameras, back in the day, there was cameras were used mostly for TV.
Yes.
And the film ones were rare.
Yeah.
So then there's a point where photography, digital photography, was blending with digital videography, photography. They were blending, and that blend is even in our phones today. So I think when you move forward, it depends on what you want to do. Just like the camera that I'm in love with right now, it's the Sony FX3.
Man, that camera,
it's magic.
The depth of color there. Yeah. Sony is unrivaled.
Yeah, no. So with color, Sony is unmatched.
So it's some. I don't like shooting.
Yeah.
I don't like the technical aspect of what we do. I love the storytelling part of it.
I see.
So I'm not fascinated so much with the equipment.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated so much with what you can do with the equipment.
Right.
Because you can give someone a Ferrari.
Yeah.
And give me or him a Gushesh.
Yeah.
And then you find that this guy can take out so much out of the Gushesh.
Absolutely.
So I think it's a similar thing. It all comes down to your purpose. What are you trying to do with it?
Got you.
Then you'll come back to which camera should you use.
And now we've got mirrorless cameras that have come into the market. Tell us a bit about that. What change or evolution has mirrorless brought? Why should we go mirrorless? What are the advantages?
Look, I think, like State said, I think the purpose always determines which cameras to go for. For instance, whenever we shoot in live recordings, so the Sonys have got a good, reach in terms of being able to take so much color. Like the RX709 is quite good. And then, but then you struggle when you're shooting against like your LED screens, right? You get a lot of flicker. Even if you try put your shutter to 1/60, you still get the flickering, right? So with the mirrorless cameras, what that has been able to do in the space is to just at least widen the aspect ratios that we can now go for, widen the resolutions that we can now go for. So now you're getting most mirrorless come in 4K because there's no limitation in terms of the mirror, in terms of it's not an image being passed down onto the the mirror to get the data. Now the image goes straight onto the aperture to capture the data. So they've given us that, which is just more resolutions and also great low light capabilities, so which you wouldn't get from broadcast cameras and you didn't get from your DSLR cameras you would have it. But like it's still a bit weird that you can still get an amazing depth of field from a camera like a 5D Mark III, even though it's still a mirror camera, crazy, right? So, but yeah, that's where it's going, and I wonder beyond this mirrorless capability, what the cameras are going to offer going forward. Because the other thing that we are trying to get more, I think most cinematographers and most creatives are trying to get anything close to what would be cinematic, what would give you amazing depth of field. And there are usually, I think, 3 things for me that will enable you to get that, right? So firstly is your background, secondly is your outfits. So what you wear.
Like outfits?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, wait. You went into a direction I didn't expect.
No, like crazy. So for instance, if so I'm probably doing you a disservice wearing black with a black
on a black rod,
So that always plays a role. Sometimes we would ask clients, "Yo, what's your wardrobe like?"
Yeah.
Now, what's wardrobe got to do with you?
With your job, just bring
and
your
like
cameras.
it's got everything to do with, because you can't wear white, you can't wear polka dots, you can't small polka dots, you can't wear stripes.
Yeah.
So, but still, if you want to amplify the quality, the contrast of the colors, the background and the wardrobe, and certain patterns just look great and textures look great. So, and that is why your vintage clothes always look amazing on camera, because they've got so much texture, and they play around the earthly palettes.
Yes.
So you most likely would win there. And lastly, light. So how you position the lighting, even the most pop camera
with good lighting
can perform.
So what we learn from school primarily is we learn how light works. So, which is fascinating because we're in the kingdom of light. And in the beginning, God elected and He appointed light. He used light to create what He created.
Yes.
So when we speak about in the dark, there's no color. You can't see. Well, it is there, but it cannot be seen.
Yes, but it is there.
It is there. So what happens is that at school, in as much as we are doing different things, the thing that we are emphasizing on, we're working on, is lighting. If someone has to ask. So there's things we introduced into the industry with how we shoot, which is, I think, currently the template. And if someone has to come and ask us, how do you guys shoot a live recording? We don't have how we shoot a live recording. It depends on what we're shooting. So this past weekend, we shot Dreaming Cockstart live recording.
Or that Carnival City.
We had almost 20 cameras.
20, bro.
Almost 20 cameras.
What are you doing with 20 cameras?
Look, that's...
Wait, how are you... What angles are you using?
We had 30 at Dr. Tumi.
Yeah, Dr. Tumi, we had a lot.
At Fort Trigger, we had 30 cameras.
And I wish...
We could get more.
We could have a camera... But here's the thing. I prophesy now.
Yes.
We realize that we need more. So... in the future, we're going to use less cameras to get more people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as soon as we start shooting at
16K,
16K, we'll be able to, and also the technology of 360 is also going to develop. The stitching technology is going to develop. We're going to get to a point where we put one camera that's shooting the front.
Okay.
And then I can easily access the drama. I can Is it
Oh yeah,
everywhere?
you basically crop
Sure.
Yeah.
because the picture is so wide and so.
Sure.
The editing softwares are still developing.
Yeah, yeah. So 4K doesn't do that too well?
No.
Okay.
It's not.
Not too good.
There's not a lot of much
Space, yeah.
So for instance, if you are 4K and you're on a wide shot in a big space, so already when you crop in, you don't want to go beyond getting a 1920 aspect ratio per frame. The more resolution, 12K, 16K, 18K, the more capabilities it allows you for you to cut in.
I see.
So then it gives you multiple perspectives. You literally can get 4 shots from one.
Yeah, I got
angle.
you. So, and this man is question. Sorry, you're gonna continue now. So, does 4K, 8K matter if the output is gonna be viewed on a 1080 screen anyway by us on YouTube and TV? And, yeah.
Let me say it matters.
Right.
Right. Here's my mantra in life. It's always better to have it and not use it
Gotcha.
than to need it and not have it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what it is. It's money. It's a relationship. It's always better to have it.
Better to have it. Yeah.
So remember, with when we're speaking about 4K, for someone who doesn't understand, it's like when they say something is 720, it means the pixels are like in two sides, the 720 by 1080.
Sure.
So when you move up to like 2K and 4K, you have more pixels in a small space. So it means that if you try to zoom in, you still have more.
Yeah, and it doesn't pixelate or blur.
Yeah.
So the challenge is this, especially when we're using a lot of cameras. Managing the data becomes a challenge. So if I'm gonna go full on, if we can go full on, because the cameras we use can go 6K. Why don't we just go 6K then? But to manage that data would increase the money I'm charging.
Yeah.
Just to manage the data.
Those are a
itself.
huge SSD drive.
To manage, and also just to the editing process, to ingest that footage, then the process takes longer. So, and I think this is why we have not shot quite a lot of 4K content. It's the data management, but 2 is that reason that you've mentioned. Is it viable to shoot 4K if you are going to exhibit in 1080? Because we haven't fully transitioned into 4K exhibition.
Yeah,
right?
true,
So even
true.
our TVs that are Ultra HDs, they don't give a full-on Ultra HD exhibition. So, if you are not going to exhibit in 4K, and even with the cell phones and with people's laptops, because you are not in control of the devices that they exhibit the content with, so you then go with the range of the majority. So, majority are on 1080, so then distribute in 1080.
Sure,
and so then, you don't have to go all through that hassle for.
There's so much more of this technical advice that I do want us to give the audience who's watching who want to implement this in church setups and ministry setups. But I want to take just reverse a bit to something that you said, that in your younger years you found resistance when you were introducing creative arts, the dancing and all of the church. There was resistance in the church. What's your assessment of that now in the church generally? And what would you say to encourage church generally, church leaders, church members to accept the creatives arts, and what's the purpose of it? Why should we?
Look, I think we need to ask ourselves why, before we got to know of the 10 Commandments and get to know of the creation of Adam and Eve, we got to experience God as a creator.
Yeah.
So our first word explosion, as we have it in the structural film storytelling, is that your first explosion is what then sets the tone. So first and foremost, God is a creator.
Oh yeah.
Right. So we've got, if we are anything like him, then we need to exude what it is that is him.
He is, yeah.
And so
the words that are being used here, man. Yeah.
So I think, and this is from the observation I made when Maverick and Will Smith did a song. I think it was at the Grammys. And the backlash showed me that the church has not shifted.
The backlash. Even when Kanye started to do gospel.
Right? So we haven't shifted. So I think we are still okay with looking holy and not necessarily allow the holiness to be an act of a movement. Right? So we are comfortable with us being a museum of holiness. We just look at us and we look holy. Because the creativity now challenges thoughts. Rattles a bit of feathers. But now, especially if the source and the objective of it is to glorify God.
Yes. So
then then you realize that we have put ourselves in, before the mandate, right? So how does it look on me? Is this my kids doing this thing? So this has a reflection of me as a parent. It has a reflection of me as a pastor. And so we miss it there, because I think that was the most creative thing I've seen with Will Smith and the Maverick City at the Grammys. Because if I remember correctly, the setting was Will was like in a pit. And then they had like the big LED screens and Maverick City was at the top, right? So it was almost like, and there was some fires that were happening. It's almost like he's in hell, and even the lyrics almost, speaking to that. Yeah. And man, that looks like a place most of the Christians have been.
Yeah. I
think a deep hole where you feel like I'm burning, like hell while you're still alive. And then there's a beautiful contrast of a choir that's singing up there, in a choral voice, in an angelic voice, almost as a crescendo that's supposed to help you elevate from hell and pick you up.
Man.
And we missed that.
I think that's where the problem was. And this is where you are passionate with in the storytelling. We missed it. I think maybe where we misunderstanding and where there's resistance, we don't see media and the creatives as a means to tell the story. Now, in a church, when it comes to the gospel, the preaching, whatever the church is trying to do, how can media be incorporated to tell the story, to conceptualize, to interpret and translate what is being said on the pulpit, and maybe also what is being sung by the singers? What are your thoughts on that?
I think media is not a new thing.
Yeah.
The Bible is a medium. Writing is a medium. Writing was not there from the beginning.
The 12 commandments were written on.
So writing is a medium. Having a book, that's a medium.
Yeah.
Taking videos, that's a medium. And other mediums are coming. Now, the challenge that I think we have is we see mediums as something that challenges. It's like it opposes what we believe in. I was with you at the I was not with you, but I saw you.
Yes.
At the next summit.
Yeah. Shout out to Musa Church for the next summit. Well done.
And on Sunday, I was with Pastor Kokit, and I told him, I'm like, I was not very excited when I left the summit because I was challenged by what has been said there. Made me realize that I'm not serious about God.
Yes, man. Me and you both. Me and you
I guess
both.
I missed out.
I was challenged, man.
So and he was laughing. He was like, "Steve, what do you mean?" And I think sometimes we are not honest with ourselves, right? And allow me to be a bit poetic.
Sure, go for it.
Honesty is a medium, right? The reason why we are not honest, a lot of times in our conversations, is because honesty in a conversation is like throwing something at someone. And most of the time, if you throw something at someone, someone's gonna throw something back.
Yeah.
Now, we then present it in a way that they can receive it, but maybe it's not honest.
Sure.
Because honesty is harsh.
Yeah.
Now, creatives come to see things differently. When Moses was gone, I was laughing with Tanya and Socks that the people who were there at when he was gone, they were like, hey, let's build something that we can glorify. Cool. But someone has to do that.
Somebody, yeah.
It's an artist.
That's right.
An artist has to do that.
Yeah.
An artist has to be able to conceptualize this calf and understand which strokes to use to build it. Now, these mediums are not here to, when you look back and you might find old sermons where streaming is being demonized, or cameras or instruments being demonized, or even women wearing pants. So I think that we are in a position which the church needs to understand these things as tools, because the world sees them as tools. And the world, capitalism has figured out how to properly brand sin.
Yeah.
To the point that even we are attracted to it.
Yeah.
So I think understanding the challenges that we have and being honest with them, like, I don't think I'm serious about God, because I don't think I'm giving him my best time. I don't think I'm scheduling him. He's not on my calendar. I go to church, and then I feel safer. And what Socks was saying is that the church then holds this position of that we are the holy ones. I don't think a lot of us have a good understanding and a good definition of our own sins. If I had this thought, which I find it, we need to understand ourselves as sinners to understand the people that need to be loved. Right? Because then we judge less and we are more open to loving. It is very difficult for me to really understand that someone died for my sins and loves me. To go out of my way, to grab this story, this narrative, to believe in it. I can't do that without greed. I am a sinner. So I think the way the church approaches the matters of creativity, because creators are the people who go to their abyss and they come back with things that we don't know what this is. And then if we miss them, we will not have people who are at the edge of technological frontiers who are Christians. But I think I struggled to answer the question.
I get you. No, you got it. I get it. Media is a tool that we must use to communicate this message and not run away from it. Do you want to add anything on that question?
He said a mouthful.
Didn't he?
I think we are not serious about mentioning, the church is not serious about mentioning the name of Jesus to the world. Because these mediums exist. And if these mediums exist, who's occupying them? We are not occupying them. We are not occupying the film industry. We are not occupying the music industry.
But as Christians, we're still consuming.
Yeah. And which is the tricky thing about artistry, right? And you said about Moses and the Israelites when they wanted to build the calf. The ability of creatives, if not given a channel to do their craft, to use the medium as a tool, to use their creativity in an evangelic way, then they get to be strayed away to serve other kingdoms, because they will create the calves, because they have to create. They are creatives. Their innate nature says, I need to create something. And to a point that we are slowly losing the battle of creativity as far as creating an environment that allows them a conducive space to be creative to the world, because then the world says, as a creative, you are different, nobody understands you, so we've created spaces for you to come. Because the world has created so many spaces for creatives to come connect, come and relate with other creatives, and we don't. And which was really the foundation of the birthing of the Creative Conference, to say, the creatives in the church, so everybody knows how to celebrate and interact with the gift, but nobody cares about the person carrying the gift.
That's right.
So artists, they never get to be served. They're always serving. And so and that is why we've got issues as creatives, because you know that people maybe don't really need me, the individual. They need my gift.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
you learn to fall in love with performance over being.
Yeesh.
And so it becomes a struggle.
Yeah, I got you.
And I think, adding to what he's saying, women at church, men at church, youth, Sunday school, married women, they all have communities. They have camps, they have workshops, they have this. The media team has nowhere to go.
No.
They must be shooting those events.
Exactly. We are there because we are shooting them, yeah. But we're not on speaking into our lives.
Yeah, so I think my voice shakes whenever I'm praying and I'm getting to the part where I have to tell God that send us, use us. I don't use those words. I'm like, use us, the church, the company, because artists have been abused.
Sure, bruh.
I don't think I can add to that.
That says it all. Just that one statement says it all. Guys, let's help somebody here, a church, a ministry that wants to get media started in the church, and they maybe want to do the live streaming, the graphic design, the social media, and all of that. Where can they start? Because some of them have got this fear. This thing is difficult. Number one, this thing is expensive. This thing is time consuming. Others like, there's no one to do it. Where can a church start? Whether it's the pastor initiating or someone in the church who's going to influence, where are the starting points? What kind of the equipments can we use just to get us going? Both of you, please take a bite at this. Let's start with you, sir.
Cool. I think firstly you need manpower. I think as a church you need to then look at the available people. I say available because they don't have to be talented and I think one of the
professionally qualified. They don't have to be.
One of the myths that is there is that you are born a creative. I think I'm a learned creative. I think I learned creativity and I'm able to exercise it now at the highest level.
Sure.
So available people are firstly what you need.
Adding on that, interesting thing about me, I'm running a media business, but I learned media in church. Sure. By starting
100%.
And now I do all of the stuff I'm doing.
No, 100%.
All of this.
Sure.
Whatever, it started at church.
Yeah.
I didn't study for this.
100%.
I didn't go to after or anything.
No, 100%.
Church.
And as a PK, you probably grew up having to connect. So you got a first level of exposure to these things quite early on, right?
Availability.
And so available people are key, man, because also it's part of the consistency that you're going to need. You don't want today somebody's here, the next day somebody's not there, so the cameras are not set up the same way. The signals are not going through for live streaming, so you need available people. Two, it is a costly exercise.
Sure.
I think that you can't run away from, but it doesn't mean that you need to start once you've got the money. I think starting from where you are, our first movie or project we got to do at film school was to shoot a movie on a cell phone. And I think there's been one, if not two, movies that internationally that have been shot on a cell phone throughout the whole film. So you can use stuff like cell phones.
Yes.
There's mics for cell phones, and there's quite a lot of different devices that can be used to capture content and make sure that it's clean. Some you can get softwares to clean out voices if the audio sounds a bit noisy. But get those devices. Get a cell phone that can take visuals, that can take audio, and if you've got the budget, there's quite a wide range of things that you can explore.
Sure.
But ideally for churches, I'd just, as a simple setup, recommend the Blackmagic setups. I think they are quite,
So they don't mind the access.
Now I think you've just gone to another level. Blackmagic. I just think ching ching, money. Blackmagic is like, and I agree, it's brilliant.
I think another advantage is that you can stream. It's designed for studio work.
Yeah.
But it's also designed for it's flexible. You can
Sure.
Yeah.
And with their streaming devices, everything just becomes
the ATEM, right?
The ATEMs, the studio decks, the hyper decks. So they've got all these devices that if you go, it's always advisable that you use one brand that connects everything because together. They've got capabilities that enable each other with features that if you are using any other brand, then you won't get those features.
Even cameras, when you mix different brands of cameras, different levels of cameras,
the matching
you are
of the
going to see.
It's a match.
You're gonna work in post.
You're gonna work. You will feel like Noah in the ark with a lot of animals.
You might not succeed.
There are higher chances that you will not succeed. So I think those. Look, I'm just recommending stuff that are ideal.
Please go for it.
And with the cell phone ones is, if you've got nothing, start with what you have, because you'd be amazed at the output that you'll get. Because sometimes I've realized, look at the documentaries that we consume, right? We'd find that the footage is, grainy, shaky, but then you just get top quality audio on top of it. Then it slaps.
And so what I tell people can forgive you for bad pictures. They can't forgive you for bad sound.
We can't, because we are unable to hear and and feel. Right.
It's like seeing someone who looks so beautiful, and as soon as they open their mouth,
I
wish I
down
could
here.
see. So it's a similar thing.
That's because sound is related to how we feel, right? So the bigger weight of content creation or consuming content is making people to feel.
But also ultimately, there's a message here.
100%.
100%. So I need to clearly hear the message.
100%. So clean audio is a must, and then. I think getting an available team, and I think what would help churches is to attend, events where other creatives are there. That helps with your live streaming setups, how the cameras are set up. Because I've done this exercise with a couple of churches, where you get there, you realize they've got cameras, they've got equipment, but one, they're struggling with an available team that's consistent. Two, there's no even template that's created. So everybody comes and they do their own thing. No, guys, I was on YouTube, and now this thing, they are shooting on different frame rates. The shutters don't match, and so there is a template that you need to create,
right?
Based on the setting of your venue, based on how the lighting enters into the room or the kind of lighting you have. So if you've got a church that's got a lot of windows, you can't set up like somebody that's doesn't have those many windows,
natural light,
and they've got artificial light as well. So those settings become different. So it's important to set up then a template which becomes your standard of practice, to then say, okay, cool, the first thing we do is to switch on cameras, check settings, which are things that people, especially in production, that take for granted. So because you are competent, you just want to rush to the camera. And then you forget. Next thing, you all were shooting on different frames. You all are shooting on different white balances.
Right. Something happens like that at church one day. Every camera was on a different frame rate. Sound was on a different bit rate. Putting that together,
I'm sure, and the pastor will not understand.
And I don't know who changed it. That was a nightmare that day.
And so that those templates help, because it doesn't matter who arrives first. The first thing that they need to do is to make sure that the settings are right. And so to check the lighting is right. We have a lighting issue in production, especially in gospel.
A serious one.
A serious lighting.
Devilish one.
It's demonic.
Let me elevate this.
I'm telling you, bro.
In Jesus' name, I bind.
No, let there be light. Let there be light, guys.
It's bad.
It's really
and
bad.
even people who are very good at lighting, they have a
listening problem.
The devil is a liar, man.
No, it's bad, man.
Let me not interrupt.
So lighting is, look, man, doesn't matter what camera, how expensive it is. Even a cell phone, if the lighting is not on par, you are wasting time. So ideally, I always say, and you've done it well, right? So
Thank you.
There is lighting for background because you want to create a separation between
contrast
subject
between
and background, right?
Yeah.
So those colors,
like every good story has an establishment.
Great.
Sure, and a fulfillment.
Yeah, and having said that, and thank you for the compliment. These things I learned them from YouTube.
Sure.
And reading and online.
Sure.
Like I said, I didn't study for this.
Sure.
Just expose yourself to knowledge.
Sure, 100%.
And ask around, guys.
100%.
Hey, what can I do?
100%. So there's like the blue light that's, on the side there, but there's an overwhelming white key light. Now, also it creates that depth, that cinematic look that you want to help people to resonate to the content, because quality is attractive.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes,
so, so using, I've seen most churches try to have lights on stage, and some you're just like, oh my goodness. And some of these things also have health effects. Right?
Health.
Yeah.
When something flickers, there's someone who is
epileptic
and all of that.
You get fits.
Like this light that do this.
Yeah.
No.
You will
stay away from that.
No, like no.
And now
abuse in the church.
And now the challenge is that the church is a place where we also have an experience of the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit move.
Yeah.
So it would be easy to miss an epileptic fit.
Thinking it's
a move of the Spirit.
Yeah.
So lighting plays a very crucial part, man. And so it's important that your colors are for the background.
Right.
Colors are for background.
Colors are not for skin.
So you can't use your color lighting for your subject.
On people.
Don't put the color blue on the pastor when he's preaching.
Guys, did you hear that? Color is for background.
It's for background.
It's for ambience.
Let it stay in the back. It's for ambience.
Unless it's intentional. The pastor's preaching about blood.
Then you want the red on him.
Oh, about the Smurfs, and they want to go all blue.
Wow, that's good advice.
Yeah. So, and man, it has ruined so many projects. Ruined even an experience, right? For somebody who doesn't see well, who's sitting at the back, and the people are dark and they're all blue and they're all green. So, and this is why then when it's not done well, the easiest association becomes to bad things. This feels like we're in the pub or in the club.
Yes, in the club. Take these things away.
These lighting things don't work, right? So it's because people
and
don't
to add on
them.
that, different parts of the service, different moments of the service require different
100%.
types of lighting. So during a deep worship moment, you don't need strobing.
No ways. I fought with lighting people because of the strobing.
For psychedelic. Stop doing those things.
Yeah.
And also there's the psychology of color, right? So it's important. So I've introduced it to most of the guys that we shoot with to say, how do you have yellow on during worship? How on earth do you have...
It's like eating pineapples in your seat.
Like how?
Tell us a bit about that the psychology of color. What color means what? What color creates what mood?
Yellows and oranges are eccentric colors. So they are vibrant colors that are for warmth, for being eccentric. Sure. Like it's vibrant, it's high energy colors, right? And then you've got your cold blues that are somber colors. And so once the song is slow in melody, it's once you have the blue light, the cold light, so it almost helps with augmenting the feeling of somberness and the mellow and the seriousness of.
It's as if the colors have speed as well.
Have
speed.
They do. So
you don't want to have worship and the color that's at 160 kilometers per hour.
But also, if you want to check it as a global thing, look at all the great worship songs that they are lighting a majority either blue or purple.
I was about to mention purple. It's just a brilliant balanced. It's a nice
so it doesn't matter if it looks like other people. It's a psychological effect that works. We can stretch it. But look, if you're going to use colors and you're using them intentionally because the song has a high energy, great, right?
Great.
But there is never, you cannot pull unless the whole environment is warm. Like as there's those rustic settings where the whole environment is warm. Then there you don't need to create any cold somberness there.
Got you.
Because the rustic walls, the lighting already speaks to that, right?
Got you.
And your red is also one of those colors that consume you into a very serious and somber mode, right? So you can't use it on a fast song, especially because as it flickers, also psychologically, then it screams danger.
And it's like a
like
red
that.
robot.
So now you can't strobe it.
Sure.
So you must allow it to.
So during fast praise, what kind of colors do we bring in?
Yellow, orange, green. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What are your thoughts on smoke machines on stage?
Before I get to smoke, Jesus name, before I get to smoke,
he just went there.
Before I get to smoke, let me also just share something which I was holding for the churches. Then I'm coming to
Sure.
smoke. Socks is technical. I'm not a very technical person.
Gotcha.
I'd say that one, if you're part of a media team, I think first understand who you serve.
Yeah.
You're not serving the followers on social media. The person you're serving knows exactly what those people need.
Right.
So I think when you concentrate on the person you're serving, not the audience online, then you have a better chance. Your job is just to understand trends.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But the one you are serving will lead you there. Two, a church is an organization.
Yeah.
And in the word, it says organize. Right? For a church that is starting out, obviously there's restraints financially.
Yes. Yes.
And that's what Socks are speaking about.
Sure.
But as soon as, because Anglican churches grow, God helps. As soon as the changes happen, the creator economy in the world is worth $2.5 trillion the last time I checked.
Man, that's big.
Now, you can't volunteer your way into that.
No.
So I think that the best thing that you can do for yourself as a media team at church, figure out what Socks is speaking about. You need to plug into systems. Right? Now, when you figure out systems, well, go to another church that has systems and ask them, we are a small church and we don't know how to do this. We would like you to help us by showing us can we see you guys in action?
Brilliant.
There's a company that's shooting, can we ask? There's like a no is not a lose. You're not losing by getting a no from someone.
Yeah.
So start off there. And churches, I love churches.
Yeah.
I'm a pastor's kid.
Yeah, man.
Churches, accounting is important in church. The legal stuff is important in church.
Yeah.
Churches are hiring creative directors. The same with football grounds. And the churches in the States are also moving in that direction. Because they're realizing, the church exists in a space like this, which also needs to be occupied. Get someone full-time.
Yeah. Who can build this?
Yeah, it's not it can't go that far if no one is taking care of it.
Yeah.
So the message is powerful. The prayer team is doing great things, but why aren't we reaching people? You know? But I'm getting to smoke now.
Let's talk about smoke on stage.
Smoke is suspended carbon.
Suspended carbon.
In its natural state, we can't see it. In its natural state, we cannot see smoke. Now, people who do lighting, because they are hired to bring lights on set, they want you to see the lights that they brought.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Sometimes we see the smoke.
More than we need to see the subjects.
We can't see the subjects properly.
Yeah.
It's the same. If there's smoke between me and you, I can't see you.
Can see. Yeah.
See the smoke.
I see the smoke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is suspended, meaning that it's not. It's if you look at smoke, smoke is like it's suspended.
It
carbon.
lingers. Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be seeing that. However, there's this idea of saying, guys, I've been paid to do this. I need to show why I'm here.
Yeah.
And there needs to be a South African Lighting Association or something
Yeah.
to address that, because it's not working.
Yeah.
Look, I think that to their frustration, because lighting designers are still also creatives that we need.
Yeah. We need that.
The only way to see the light rays is when you've got some smoke in.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're gonna see light rays. Otherwise, you're just seeing the light bulbs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think if they were to use the technique with the understanding that there is that smoke and the colors that we're talking about are for background. So the reason we have a challenge with smoke, it's not that we hate smoke. It's the fact that it has become a veil now.
It must play its role.
Yeah, now we must shoot across this veil to see the bride. So just remove the veil, my brother. We don't have a challenge with the veil. Just put it here, at the back. We will be fine.
Yeah.
And it can still be highlighted, heightened with colors.
Yeah.
Just take it where it needs to. I think it's just position.
Subtleties.
100%. 100%.
And here's the thing. Let's say you want to have a concept of the burning bush. Pump that thing. Pump that thing in. Let us feel Moses experiencing the burning bush. Cool. It's conceptual.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think which is another challenge in South Africa.
Intentionality.
There's a lack of intentionality and a lack of concept. So it's like, no, the media team will just give us colors. They'll just give us lighting, right? But when something is done with, like, I was watching a documentary, I think, Beyonce's documentary.
Which one?
The one she was preparing for a performance at Coachella.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it was on Netflix.
Sure.
And I was like, she comes through, she's like, oh, because of this dance move we're doing, can we change the dress? A part of the dress for this dance move. Now, there's a saying in this technical world, they say, God is in the detail.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then God is not in our side, God is not.
Ish.
There's no detail.
There's no detail.
Yeah, because it's like, guys, and the sad part about it is that because there's no intentionality, we become good at doing what people in the States are doing because they are successful. But these ideas are.
But we're also slow because they've moved on, and we're still holding on to
what they used to do.
Yeah.
I would say that the South African gospel industry is struggling with the sin of sloth as an industry. And the sin of sloth is not so much about just laziness. Is that we are starving our purpose.
Man.
Like this things that we are not making enough music, we're not making enough movies, we're not writing enough poetry, we're not doing all that. And the theme for this conference is we want when people live there, they must create. We were speaking about this yesterday. Like we're gonna open up a thing online where we start having a meeting once a month to hold you accountable.
Yes. What have you done?
Yeah, you say you're a painter. Most things which are creative, or like I'm a filmmaker, I'm a painter, they're mostly verbs.
Sure.
You have to be in it doing. I can't say I'm a filmmaker, but I'm not making movies.
Got you.
I can't say I'm a painter, but I'm not painting. I can't say I'm a singer, but I'm not singing.
Yeah.
So the idea is that we need to create. And I think we are not occupying. So.
No, I got you, man. I get you. I want to talk about social media, then we'll close it off and talk fully about your conference. Social media is a big tool.
Big.
It for some people, they think they no longer need websites for social media. I disagree. I think there's a place for a website, definitely. But also social media, we're not doing it right. And it's one of my biggest pet peeves when I see what the church is doing on social media, because it's such a huge opportunity and platform.
It is.
Gary Vee, he calls it free attention.
It is. Sure.
You know, traditional media, you used to pay a lot of money to get those eyeballs on your
Sure.
content.
Sure.
Social media just lets you cut through all of
Sure.
that and get to your
Sure.
people. What can we do better in social media in our churches to make sure that we are being true to the mandate and getting the message out there?
First of all, we need to start appreciating it as a platform and a medium and a tool that we can use it. Because we still come from a very not so distant backdrop of where Mixed was a demon. So I remember this one time at a family gathering, my aunts collected all our phones to pray for them. Because these devices are demonic and they are going to lead us astray. So firstly, I think you need to appreciate the social media as a platform that you can use as church effectively.
Yes.
So that you then don't become you don't repel the use of it, right? And then two is that learn the trends of social media. It's quite easy to figure out the trends. I struggle with it because I see it with a lot of churches that they almost have similar content because of the trends that they see that other church media teams are doing. But still, that it works. Even though I don't like doing what everybody else is doing, it works.
Yes.
Two, look, just research the algorithm patterns of social media. This is when to post. This is how to generate traffic in terms of it's pointless posting at times that when no one is really not on their devices.
Also, which kind of content
and which kind of
which
100%, 100%. So there are low hanging fruits as far as social media is concerned. TikTok and Facebook being one of the biggest, right, in terms of engagement, in terms of reach, audience reach, and then Instagram being last on, amongst the three, as it's more picture video orientated, right? And so you can then just create your lookbook, which is important to have. So which then I guess I jumped part of the steps, because you need to have a look and feel. So the time of just hitting the ground running doesn't work. If you still have your dove, how you gonna factor that into your graphics?
It's tough.
Because now some of those things
must modernize.
You have to. You have to. It's unfortunately part of being able to stay within the ecosystem. No, but they are clip art 2-dimensional doves now. Take out the solid dove, the texture that are there, the 3D element of it. Take away the 3D element of the eagle. Give us 2-dimensional, easy to remember
flat
visuals.
Design.
Flat designs, right? So before you even go to social media, start there. Find a graphic designer and brand your look. Because those are stuff that it's so frustrating. Then you see that the church colors is like black and purple, and you are finding green, orange.
You're touching something so important. Here's what I want to tell pastors and church leaders: listen, stop doing it yourself.
Yes.
Just because you've got Canva,
sure.
does not mean you can design your church logo and your church poster.
Sure.
There's serious thought that goes into design from a graphic design perspective.
You didn't hit posters. You didn't.
Posters! Hey,
you didn't.
Guys, good posters save souls.
Facts. I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Good posters
save souls.
I think I imagine the church in the book of Acts.
Yeah.
I imagine how it would have been if they had social media. And I also wonder how Jesus would have used social media if he had an account.
Sure.
And when I start to think about that, it hits me same time that I'm not using it. Because I don't know, how many times do I mention Jesus? How many times do I reach out for like, hey, is there someone? How many times do I alter call on my social media platforms? Like, I say, hey, if you're going through this and you need someone to be with you, how many times do I actually reach out and saying this is the mandate that I have? The two things. I think most of the time we focus on the media part and not the social part. Because there's a whole study about the social part in sociology where the behavior of people is studied.
Sure.
And we begin to understand, oh, people love sugar this way, and all those kind of stuff. So I think understanding that when I read the Bible, I'm challenged because I know I'm not serious about God because there are books that I shoot through. I should be done reading the Bible 3 times by now. I'm confident that I'm not serious about God because I'm not like the Bible is not a very long book compared to some books out here that are being read. You know? You finished all Harry Potter's. You know all the witches.
But you've not finished your Bible.
And all the spells. So I think that if we history, like when Paul writes a letter to the people of what are the difference between the people of Colossae and Ephesus? Why is he writing to these people this way and to these people this way? Why is that city called Ephesus? Right? Because now we have a book, the book of Ephesians, which is named after a people he was writing to. But in the book, it speaks more about what he was writing. But you have better context when you understand. If he's writing to the people of KZN, okay, what's the difference between the people of KZN and Northwest? Why is it when he's writing to the people of Northwest, he approaches them this way?
So understanding our market.
Yeah, understanding our market, and in the same way that understanding who we serve. Because it's so sad that there's a reason why the Bible is not written as a textbook. Like Genesis 1, I made everything. 2, you all destroyed it. 3, now you all are messed up. 4, like it's not written that way because remember the brain's function is to forget things.
Yes.
So when I drove here, the stop sign, the roads, the potholes, the traffic lights, my brain still has all of them.
Sure.
It's trying to flush them out.
Sure.
I'm trying to remember this one thing.
Sure.
It's working against everything.
Yeah.
So I think that when we understand history, right? When we understand the context of exactly what we're doing, the Bible is huge. Like to try, you can't remember everything at a go, which I think we get into AI. But let me not get into that. Next time we come through, we've got to speak about the church and AI.
Yeah.
But I think that let's understand properly right now we are living in a world that is behaving a particular way because of particular things. You're in South Africa. There's a racial context, even in church, of the nature of the church in South Africa.
Right.
So when you see things, maybe those things in another country would be different to the context. So I think understanding not just the media part, but also the social part.
Just to close off on that, so meaning language is important. This is for captions, this is for hashtags. So you see now with the captions and how they'll be phrased in a way that is catchy. It's either a testimonial or it's almost like they paint a scenario for you to want to carry on reading. So captions are quite a big thing on social media. Sure. The consistency of posting, so planning out how you're going to distribute your content, and also how you capture it for social media. So you'd find videos that are landscape, which is your 1920 by 1080 versus shooting them 1080 by 1920, which is portrait.
Yes.
Just so that easier for those
On
who are
mobile.
scrolling. Sometimes you find this other trends where if you were either too lazy to want to change it, to just put that icon that
and tells people turn your phone around.
And so there are all those things, but it's part of trying to get engagement ultimately. And so so those type of things help with high reception of content on your social media platforms. And if your church is not like full, or be creative. We are not saying lie. I'm saying be creative. So just don't show the empty chairs. There are things to avoid. Plugs on the floor. Unless you are trying to emphasize where 2 or 3 are gathered.
I think before I think imagine social media as what we do at texting with like an open air. So social media is the same way. It's just that the way we begin to interact with social media does not allow us the confidence, and I'm speaking for myself here, to come out about and say, in the same way that someone is sitting there and someone passing, minding their own business, and say, hey, can I tell you about Jesus? It's a very uncomfortable thing, but I think that's what social media is.
Awesome, man, you've dropped some great gems for us. We got to come back and have an in-depth conversation more on the technical side and all of that, and also the story side and the conceptualizing of how we do stuff in church.
100%.
Man, let's talk about the EyeCan Conference. Media conference coming up 24th of May.
100%.
Let's talk about this. What's happening? Why are you all doing this? Just lay it out for us.
This came from a place of frustration. And I think it's Jamal Bryant who said your greatest frustration is your greatest calling. And so we've had this conference concept for I think 3 years or 2 years now. But fear had us by the cuff. So I forgot if it was the day we were driving back home. And to Polokwane. So we're just like going through scripture, and Numbers 13:33 was the scripture that stood out, which was the story of the spies. They went to spy the land, and when they came back, they gave a report that, look, man, the land is the best, but we felt as small as grasshoppers. And in that moment, we realized that fear was given the ability to create. And so this is where the theme, fear creates giants, comes from. And so we're like, damn. I think the most gifted and talented and anointed creatives battle with the feeling of inadequacy, feeling of feeling like they are not the ones to do it,
imposter syndrome,
and imposter syndrome. And the less gifted are the confident ones. So we are in an era where confidence is celebrated instead of creativity.
That's right, sir.
And so we just felt, I think at some point the giants must be slain. So and this was the year to do that. So try to create a community of creatives where we can learn from each other, build a healthy community where you know it's a safe space. Unlike when you are going to any other creative space where you don't know which kingdom, which altar, which you are just exposing yourself as a creative, but also at the mercy of any possibility.
Gotcha.
And so we wanted to just say, look, this is for Christian creatives. We want to help you with your creativity. We want to help you to ensure that you continue to create. And
Amazing.
So that's where it comes from.
When people come, what are they expecting? Firstly, let's start there. Who's required to come? Who will this benefit? And when they come, what will they get?
Jesus. If you're a creative, or you suspect you're a creative,
let's break that down to subcategories. Name the types of creatives that are there. You've got filmmakers in the church. You've got graphic designers. Continue.
So there's visual arts.
Right.
Visual arts is like you're a painter, you're a graphic designer, you're a motion graphic designer, you're a filmmaker, you're a photographer, and the list goes on. And if you are in sound, You could be on the technical technical side of things.
Sound design.
You could be in the film side, the sound design. Are you a musician? Are you singing? Are you playing instruments? Do you have this new form of how you approach music that we are not aware of? I added all factory arts. Here's a sad realization we found in trying to put this conference together. We were struggling to find Christian creatives.
Yeah.
Just we found them in music mostly, but we were struggling to find pages, shares.
Yeah.
Just
any other creative?
Yeah, who exist in the different realms. So, if you're a creative and you know you're engaging in creative work, or you aspire to engage in creative work, contact us. If you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you're an accountant, but you know you write poetry, you know that you paint, you know, come through. You being an accountant doesn't exclude you from being an artist.
Of course.
But the primary people that we are aiming at are church media teams, because particularly for them, they don't have anywhere to go. You know, they don't have camps, they don't have. So we are aiming at that. Now this is the first one where we are establishing it. The whole day will be a creative experience.
Right.
Everything they will be engaging with will be something that is being created.
Right.
We will be creating with them. I want to share that they get excited, but I don't want to share too much. We have Pastor Martin who will be sharing with us.
Shout out Pastor Martin Giba.
Yeah, I had an interesting chat with him about creativity, and we have Okutle. I was going to say Okutle. Okutle speaks. She's a poet.
Love it.
She has a piece about fear. We have Dr. Tumi, who we have a close relationship with him, and we've had for years. We always chat with him about these matters. So he'll be giving a keynote address. We have.
I saw you have Claire as well coming through.
I was shocked by that. I was shocked. We just shot her recording. And you know when you don't know someone, when you engage with her, I was like, this person is like seriously on a creative tip.
Oh no, she's incredible creative.
On another level of creativity.
Yeah, so it's like, oh flip, we need to.
Yeah. She's one of the most intentional creatives.
Yeah, you can say
very,
that again.
very intentional.
When a project comes out, I think it's going to be so confusing. I think people will be asking, where is that venue? And it's not a venue. And she came up with a style. I don't even know what to call that style. But it's about the word, you know. One of the big things that we wanted to pull through was workshops. However, we have limited time on the day.
Yeah.
So what we do want to do after the conference is to prepare master classes. To say that, okay, let's get into sound.
Yeah.
Here's a whole master class on sound. Here's this. Let's get into the master class. And we have Siba.
Yeah, Siba Mrebi. Man.
We have Siba. She'll be there. She'll be performing.
Amazing.
She'll be performing in a way she's never performed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So none of the performances are gonna be.
All right, guys. I hear you.
Yeah. So yeah, we have Q&As. What?
Apostle Sangweni.
Didn't I mention Apostle?
No,
Apostle Sangweni. Gotta mention Apostle Sangweni.
No, you didn't.
Sorry, we have Apostle Sangweni.
Apostle Sangweni loves creatives. He loves seeing creatives.
He's a creative himself.
He's disturbed by us coming there. He's disturbed by us coming there to the point that whenever we like, okay, we want to bring in the slides, he's like, guys, whatever you bring, don't remove it. Tell me, let me buy it. Let me stay here, so that because you guys are gonna make the church look good, and
then you leave, then the church is back to normal.
Yeah, so I think
we're gonna have a Q&A. The creatives and the church talk with both Pastor Martin and Apostle Sangweni.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think they'll be representing a lot of
pastors and
what the church represents.
Yes.
And there's a lot of artists who have I don't know, things to ask, things to
Yes.
get off their chest, I don't know.
Yes.
But I think that we've never seen this community being served. So we would be lying if we say we know exactly how we need to serve this community.
I get you.
So me and Socks will be presenting.
Amazing.
Can you give the vision?
Yeah.
But y'all got a lot to teach as well. Definitely. And, and I want to encourage every podcaster to come, because hey, there's a mess that as podcasters we are creating. And I think
Really?
we gotta talk to each other as podcasters.
Oh, what's happening?
Just say, guys, no, man. Guys, not everyone who's got a mic should podcast.
Oh yeah, true. And look, so there's a conversation. Maybe we'll have it after the recording about. So there is a podcast setup area.
Nice.
On the day that we just wanted it to have conversations throughout the whole day.
We'll be there.
And so it will be great that you.
I'm coming through, man. I'm coming through. All the media creatives I know in my church and around.
Amazing.
I'm inviting them.
Amazing.
I'm inviting this community of mine here, this audience of mine. I want to tell every podcaster to come and let us grow our art. Let us learn how to make this big in South Africa. Podcasting is taking off hugely, and we got to do the right way and effectively. The States is ahead a bit in many things. Technically, conceptually, equipment-wise, they're ahead. We can do it. We can produce quality work.
And I think if you are at church and you're in charge of the media team, and you're in charge of the music side of things, come with everyone, part of the team. If you cannot afford to come with everyone, send one person to just come and
represent.
If we really think that this is one body, as creatives, I think we have such a huge task waiting for us in this space, because the world is dominating in this space. So a lot of times when we go to churches to shoot, there's a preference to bring in our own productions, because a lot of churches don't have really competent.
And churches that have individuals that would love to attend but can't afford, I think please email us at eyelistenmedia@gmail.com. That's because we've got a couple of people that want to sponsor
amazing stuff.
Other creatives that can attend the conference. So
amazing stuff.
Do send us names of those people that would love to attend, but that they won't be able to afford. So at eyelistenmedia@gmail.com.
I'll tell you what you do here on the UnChristian podcast. I'm gonna give away a ticket to somebody who wants to attend. Right? We're gonna purchase it ourselves. So what you can do is, to qualify for this competition, share this episode on your social media.
Yes.
You take a screenshot of it and you DM us at UnChristian Pod, Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. DM us, and then we'll pick a winner from that.
Come on.
I'll say it again. You share this onto your social media, the link to this episode that you're watching right now. Take a screenshot of it, and you send it to us as a DM. We'll pick a winner, and you will get yourself a free ticket to this conference on us.
Awesome. That's what's up.
That's what's up, man.
Hi, that's what's up.
Where are tickets available?
Tickets are on Quicket, and they are 350 rands.
Yeah, well worth it. Well worth it.
Yeah, and doors open at Tiny. What time do doors open?
Tiny, when does the door open?
9:30 for registration.
Awesome.
Just maybe as what do you call it? As a spoiler. So everybody's getting a photo shoot.
Not just someone taking a picture of you, like a whole thought through
photo shoot. Wow.
Everybody.
Please come. Don't just come with a skipper.
Mad.
When I say everybody, if you've got a ticket, y'all are getting a photo shoot.
Man,
that's more than
love it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That's super value that you're giving. Yeah.
But just one last thing.
Sure.
If you come there as with any kind of art form that you're engaged in. The hope is that you find a community, you find a safe space, you find someone to hone your skill with. There's things we are planning after this, and to give you an example, another spoiler. We want to do something publicly, which can encompass everything. To give an example of this is how far the creative world can push.
Sure.
A film is a medium that involves almost every other medium. Whether you're a painter, whether you're in graphics, whether you're costume, makeup, sound. Can I just mention the name of the movie?
Don't spoil too much.
That's a big spoiler.
It's a
not,
movie.
Not even. It's a movie.
But here's the thing. The plan is to do it publicly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a movie.
Okay, so the people who will be there are the people who are going to make the movie.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. Man, I'm excited. Man, you guys have shared so much wisdom, so much knowledge. Thank you so much for being so generous
Thank you
with
for
your time.
having us.
Amazing.
So much.
We're looking forward to the EyeCan Conference, 24th of May
Yes, sir.
this year at Great Light Church in Midrand. Tickets available at 350. Is it web tickets?
Quick.
Quicket. At Quicket. Get your tickets. Let's get there. Get your other fellow creatives. Someone you know who's got a creative edge to themselves, even if they're in another profession. Like the bros were saying, but they want to hone their creativity and express their creativity and grow in it. Industry experts, people who are going to inspire and shape and give knowledge are going to be there to equip us. So let's get there. And every church media practitioner should be at that conference. It's time to take things to the next level. And I want to see everyone over there. Gentlemen, thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for watching.
It's not that.
Thank you, Tiny. Our director said cut. Bye-bye.
We'll be creative.
No, well, yeah.
Thank you so much.
At least then the episode will have